was going on? That sounded vaguely sexual. What the hell was that? Hey, it's Jessica, and welcome back to Seduce Me to the Demon War, James's route. So in the last route, we trained with Faye a little bit more, and we discovered, well, not really, something new, because I already knew that from the other routes, but Diana's kind of going a little bit crazy. But at the same time, she's worried that we didn't take care of the angel problem. Clearly we didn't. And we learned that Seto is actually an angel, which is why he has holy magic and he knew about the whole angel thing and whatever. But he told us not to, well, he threatened us actually, to not tell anybody about his secret. I just hope that I don't have to tell anybody that in order to save James. I'm really afraid of that. Let's see what's gonna happen. I finally arrived at my room, but as soon as I entered, something wasn't right. I felt something was off just from stepping inside, but there was no one there. Was I just exhausted and imagining things? No. Cautiously, I entered, looking around. Nothing seemed to be out of place visually, but my nerves felt on edge. What was happening? Hello? Despite feeling silly speaking to an empty room, I had to see if anything or anyone would respond. Maybe they were hiding. Maybe something was creeping around and would be surprised by my voice. There was no response, but I still didn't feel easy. Something was seriously wrong. Oh shit. Oh no. Oh no. Oh god. Okay, because my first instinct would be to fucking get the hell out of here because I feel like I would die or something. Get Diana or someone else, one of the brothers or something, because I wouldn't want to do this alone. But investigate. Shit, that could mean something, right? Am I gonna fuck it up if I look around? Because I'm kind of curious, but shit, what do I do? Oh no! Damn it! Okay, I'm gonna see what happens if I investigate. I'm probably gonna die and fuck up the room, but whatever. I shook my fear from my mind and took a breath. This was not something to be scared about. I was sure of it. I walked further into the room only to hear the door slam shut. I turned around, seeing the door close, making me panic a bit. Hey! Before I could walk over, however, I felt the energy in the room freeze. What? I looked around, now unsure of what to think. Whatever was here had succeeded in trapping me, so I needed to deal with whatever it was. Baring my teeth and stepping further into the room, I scanned the room for any movement. Who's there? What do you want?
You do not belong here, human.
Whoa, it's speaking English now! What the fuck? The voice that replied sent fears rushing through my body. I looked around to try to pin down the direction of the voice, but it seemed to just echo around the room. Who are you and what do you want?
You meddle in things beyond your comprehension. Why must you attempt to toy with destiny?
I remained silent for a moment. This was an angel speaking, in English to me. I didn't know why it was speaking to me after they had to attempt to wipe my memories and still haunt me. Still, at least I would be able to learn more as to why. I glared into the room and continued to look around. I'm not toying with anything. James chose to stay with me, and he and I are going to be married.
Raestro's fate has been set. You have no place in it.
Before I could oh shit, I think I fucked up. Before I could react, I felt myself become enveloped in chains. I looked down to see my entire body wrapped in a lined white and gold chains, squeezing me tightly, and I winced in pain.
Your mind is protected, but the spell will not last. Once it is fated, you will be properly baptized.
What the fuck? No!
Love, what is going on in there?
Oh no, James! I stared at the door, hearing James banging against it from the other side. The door was locked from the outside too. I glared at the door before shutting my eyes and calling his true name. Raestro! With a flash of bright light, James appeared in the room, shocked but suddenly enraged at seeing me in chains. Before he could rush forward to help me, however, his body was wrapped in chains as well. No!
You cannot defy your destiny, demon.
What the hell are they doing?
My destiny?
I pulled against the chains around me, hoping to somehow break free. Despite it being no avail, I continued to thrash and pull.
Your destiny is to rule this world. You cannot escape it.
My destiny is of my own making!
Your destiny is set.
I think I fucked
stone.
up. The room around us began to glow and blind us. We were forced to shut our eyes tightly.
No matter. We will cleanse you both soon enough.
I could feel the chains dragging me beneath the ground into some sort of space. Cold waves rushed against my skin and I was dragged through the void I could not see. Where would we be taken? I didn't know how long I was out for. I had no way to tell and how long I had been unconscious. All I knew was that James and I were in trouble. What was going to happen now were that we were prisoners of the angels? Nervousness sank into my mind as I could not do anything but float into the empty darkness created by the angels who had confined me to the cocoon of chains. Slowly my nerves came back to life and I found myself awakening from the dark. What I didn't expect was no longer feeling the chains around me, but a self-familiar stuff beneath me. What the? I rubbed my eyes and slowly opened them to see a familiar gray ceiling. It couldn't be. No. What? Okay, now I'm fucking confused. I thought we couldn't leave the demon world because of the fucking father's, curse. The hell? Sitting up, my heart caught in my chest. I was back in my room. I was in the human world. How was this possible? Where was James? I jumped out of bed and rushed for the door, pulling it open. James? I called out but heard no response. I rushed to the lobby and looked around it to see it's still intact. The area felt familiar and real, but I wasn't imagining things. I couldn't have been. All the same, I knew that the curse hadn't been lifted. I couldn't have returned to the human world unless I died. Was I dead? I began to panic. What was going on? That sounded vaguely sexual. What the hell was that? My heart stopped at the sound of Diana's voice. More so from the moan that somehow reached my ears. I turned to where the sound came from, realizing the direction. The library? I rushed over and quickly pushed the door open, running inside. What I saw made my heart tear instantly too. Oh god, please don't tell me what I think it is. On the ground were Diana and James, both in demon form, embracing each other. James had his face buried in Diana's neck as she clawed at his back, arching against him and moaning in the— oh no, oh here we go, moaning in the air. This couldn't be real. This wasn't real. Before I could scream, the time seemed to freeze, causing the room and the world around me to become still. I looked around, realizing that I could still move, and turned away from the sight.
Do you know why I am showing this to you, human?
Fuck you. No, even if we said fuck you, like, there's no point, you know what I mean? No. I had to be calm. This was an illusion, a dream. The angel speaking to me made that perfectly clear.
This was the time when Rachel was destined to return to the Abyssal Plains. Isaiah would have convinced him to go home, and they would have consummated their engagement before returning to take their birthrights.
No.
It is the truth. The only event that stopped it from happening was your voyeurism and intrusion.
I will not let him go.
How selfish. Humans are all selfish creatures. But that is to be expected when safety is handed to them on a silver platter.
The angel was toying with me, and I despised hearing every word it spoke. I turned back around and focused my attention on James, knowing that this was fake and remembering the real scenario.
Do you understand the full consequences of your actions?
Of course she doesn't freaking know what is going on. I regret nothing. Upon my final words, the room went black and began to reek of blood. I started to gag and cover my mouth and nose at the horrid smell. What was happening now? Where did the angels take me? I followed Diana's voice to see a crack of light slowly opening, revealing Diana. Her face was painted with worry and concern, but upon opening the door, her expression shifted from concern to absolute broken shock. From the light of the door, I was able to finally see the room I was in. Blood covered every surface, gore decorated every inch, and I was standing in a couple of feet at the center. There were 3 objects laid. Barely coated in blood, at the center were 2 broken adult-sized crowns and a smaller crown, large enough to barely fit on a new— oh, it's her family. No. Oh, come on. Diana's eyes darted throughout the room, both in disbelief and utmost horror. She barely forced herself to step into the room, dropping to her knees in front of the items and bringing them to her chest.
No! No!
My heart broke at the sight of Diana. Tears were streaming down her face as she clutched the crowns against her chest.
Your selfishness cost a kingdom their beloved rulers, and a daughter her only family.
It's not good. I couldn't say anything. I wanted to fight and shout back that I didn't regret taking James away, but seeing Diana completely broken silenced any will to speak.
I see that you're beginning to understand.
Okay, I'm not gonna be a bitch, like, I get it, so I'm not gonna say anything. There was nothing I could say. Any desire to fight back was dissolved by Diana's sobs and cries.
However, your choice to defy destiny has done more damage than this.
Before my eyes, the room vanished once again, and I found myself surrounded by flames. What the? Oh, it's the dad.
Burn everything to the ground!
I looked around, trying to find the source of the direction of the voice. This was just an illusion, but the heat of the flame seemed too real to ignore or shake off.
This was the last thing many lives were forced to see before dying at the hands of the madman demon lord.
Stop it! I gripped my head, shutting my eyes tightly. I didn't want to see anymore. I didn't want to be here any longer. If this was the angel's torture, this was truly unbearable.
Do you not see the price of your selfishness? You are the sole reason why millions of lives have been lost. You are the sole reason why an entire world is burning.
Shit.
Your love causes death. Your love will do nothing but bring you pain and suffering for all of eternity. Every minute you hold on to this false hope is another child dying, another kingdom falling, another battle waged. Give him up.
All at once, my head became filled with cries and screams of people I didn't know of. Pain from men, women, and children echoed in my mind as I gripped my head, wanting it to stop. The heat around me was unbearable. I couldn't stand it. Oh no. Like, okay, if I'm being real honest, I would say I'm sorry, even though, yeah, we're in love with James, right? We're engaged to him and whatever, but I feel bad. Like, I've always felt bad since I discovered, like, what happened to Diana, so I'm gonna say I'm sorry. Like, I hope this is right. I couldn't take it anymore. I was plagued by visions of us separating. I was warned of why I shouldn't be with James. The more I listened, the more my heart painfully understood. This was beyond my control, and this was something I should not have interfered with. Oh man, did I do the wrong thing? We're giving up James? I had to give up. I fell to my knees, feeling the flames around me fade away and be replaced by a room full of falling feathers. I covered my eyes and sobbed, feeling my heart dying. I loved James, but this was too much. I was only human, after all. A warm hand placed itself on my head, but I felt no strength to look up at who it was.
You are a human. You do not belong in this world of darkness. May your sins be cleansed for all of eternity, and may the gates of heaven be opened to you once more.
Did we just lose our— oh my god, did I fuck up? Couldn't listen to him. My soul was fighting me. My mind was spinning. My body wanted to desperately stand. But I couldn't. My heart could no longer take the tragedy this road was taking me on. I needed to stop. I felt warmth envelop my body and the white light take over my mind. I felt my mind slowly dissolve, evade all my memories. Shit! Everything I went through, everything I've done, gone. Oh, god damn it! Okay, I chose I love him this time. Let's see if this does anything. No, this wasn't happening. I needed to get out of here. I shouted to the skies, knowing the angels would hear me. However, I rushed forward through the flames surrounding me, hoping to break free somehow. Whoa, what I managed to do was break through some sort of glass door, destroying the world around me.
Love!
I fell to the floor, surrounded by shattered glass, shaking my head. Quickly looking up, I recognized the sight before me from the nightmare. James was jolted to the wall with a burnt cross over his chest. He stared wide-eyed at me, uncaring of the bubbling heat dancing over his new scar, as cloaked figures turned their heads towards me. I didn't have to look at them to know that they were angels. From what I knew, they had holy magic that could only disable demon magic, so fighting any form of magic I knew was not a good idea. However, I was human. I had a pure physical form. I quickly jumped back up and squared off, ready to take on my husband's captors. Shit, we're gonna fight the angels! Oh my god! In an act of supreme rage, James's body began to glow in a tense gold color. The light flickered around his body like a raging flame.
Enough!
Yes! Yes! Okay, here we go. Within the matter of seconds, light suddenly engulfed the room, blinding everyone in it. I covered my eyes with my arms, trying to block the light to no avail. As it finally faded, I looked up to see James in his demon form with eyes fully glossed in gold.
This ends now!
Oh shit, yo, he's shooting up the place! The cloaked figure quickly conjured chains in their hands, but not fast enough to avoid James's forming a familiar-looking gold pistol in his hand and shooting down the attackers. What shocked me was how they fell. Oh. Instead of them falling to the ground, the bullet just ripped through the cloak, the fabric burnt away, and the ash vanished in the air as if it were blown by the wind.
Filthy demon! Your acts shall not go unpunished!
Send every angel in heaven at me! I will not let you touch her again!
Jesus Christ! Taking the chance, I rushed over to James and wrapped my arms around him. My body felt at ease while holding him, as he wrapped his free arm around my waist and held me close. I could feel the power radiating off his skin, tickling my nerves. What the hell? That's what they look like? As a large gold pentagram appeared at our feet, a third cloak being stepped up from the far end of the room. Stepping over the glass I had broken through and fallen on, James tightened his grip around me and aimed at the figure.
You cannot escape your destiny.
As it finished, James fired the shot at the angel. The bullet ripped through the cloak, but the figure did not die like his companions. James didn't seem to care.
That was your one warning.
We do not fear you.
Whoa.
Come after her again,
Whoa.
and I will teach you the meaning of fear.
Whoa! Oh my god! With an angry sound that reverberated around the room, the cloak figure bent forward towards us, showing its veiny hands. Ew! From its back sprouted two large and proud white wings riddled with hundreds of gorgeous placed feathers. However, before the angel could lunge at us, we sank to the ground last, escaping into the darkness. James gripped me tightly as I held on to him, guiding me through the void we were in. Please tell me we're going back to the demon world, Jesus! Into the darkness we sank. I shut my eyes, scared of where we were going, but not knowing that everything was alright now that James was with me, I was safe in his arms. We finally came out of the dark, and we were standing in the middle of the war room, where everyone seemed to have gathered.
Whoa!
Hey, what the hell?
What?
Oh my god, you're alright.
James and I looked around, seeing the shock and surprised faces of the rebel leaders, the Incubi Brothers and their wives. However, looking to Diana, her face instantly melted from surprise to anger. Oh god, here we go. Whoa! Okay! Damn! Alright. James released me as Diana suddenly marched at him, staring at her with a blank expression. The expression stayed as Diana slammed her palm across his cheek. The sound reverberated through the room.
Hey! Do you both realize how long you have been missing?
She has the right to be mad, so it's okay.
2 days.
Do you realize how many assets we have spent in preparing to find you both?
Diana!
Do not apologize! I don't want to hear it!
Shit, yo, Diana's scary when she's mad. Diana turned and walked back to her spot, crossing her arms and curling her shoulders over herself.
If you two had died, this war would have been for nothing.
I frowned, understanding what she meant. Because of us, the war had happened, so we had to take responsibility. However, now was not the time to get angry. Diana, we're back now. That's all that matters. Once again, Santa took control of the air before Diana took a deep breath and let out a sigh, relaxing at last. The very last thing I wanted was for Diana to explode about this.
Were they angels?
Yes.
Did you kill them to escape?
2 of them.
Diana turned her head and looked at James in slight surprise.
You realize that killing angels of heaven will put a bounty on your head, correct?
What is happening? I silently gulped, remembering the angels swearing to punish James for what he did. James didn't seem to be fazed as he wrapped his arm around me.
Let them come. I will not let them hurt her again.
Damn, he's a badass. But, like, I'm worried that he will probably die because of this. That's what I'm scared of. My cheeks warmed a bit as I looked up at James, seeing him smile lovingly at me. I smiled back, seeing the deep and pure emotion he felt for me within his eyes. He would protect me with all his might, and I would be with him for as long as I could. Diana's like, you silly fucking children. With a sigh, Diana rubbed her temple and turned around, glaring at me and James. Her looks could kill, but I knew that beneath her anger she was relieved to see us. In a strange way, I could see the amusement behind her hard glare.
Well, now that everyone is accounted for, we are set. We are ready to march on to the Demon Lord's castle and end this once and for all. Are you two prepared?
We're already gonna go there? Damn, alright. The realization of the date hit me. If we were missing 2 days, then we were an evening away from heading to the final battle. Fear quaked my core for a moment, but my embrace with James shook it away.
We leave in the morning?
That's the plan. Get some rest, you two.
Sitting time!
You both need it.
Without letting anyone interfere or interrupt her, Diana turned and left the room. I smiled a bit, knowing that deep in her heart she cared about us. The other rebels left as well, most likely going to prepare themselves.
Dude, what's on your chest?
Oh yeah! Sam pointed at James's chest, making everyone look at him. I bit my lip, but James waved his hand decisively.
A battle scar, nothing more.
Okay,
A
James.
scar that still needs to be examined.
Eric walked over along with Damien, and both demons began to investigate it.
Alright. Love, you can go back to the room if you want.
I nodded, feeling sudden exhaustion hit me hard. I yawned and waved the others before I walked out of the room, making my way towards our bed. I began to make my way back to my room, but I stopped as I heard the sound of Whisper's voice sneak through the barely open door.
So, we're all in agreement?
Oh, okay, here we go, again. Okay, so once again, for this route, I'm not gonna kill Diana, because I don't even know if you can actually do that, or she'll, like, try to cut you or something, but that's essentially what I was talking about earlier, that the other people of the council were just planning on killing Diana because they think she's gone mad. But anyway, just for this route, I'm not gonna kill her, so I'm just gonna skip over this. I finally returned to our room and flopped onto the bed, letting the events of my time in the Abyssal Plains replay in my mind. I was trapped here, haunted by angels, and soon enough I was gonna go marching into battle against the Demon Lord for my freedom. The more I thought about it, the more surreal feeling became. I was going to be in a room, meeting a powerful adversary face to face, and set myself free from the curse he brought down upon me. Add that I was captured by angels and almost killed by them made the time I had spent away from the human world very wild. It felt like a dream, but I knew that it couldn't be one. This was too vivid, too real to be even close to a dream. As James entered the room at last, I smiled and stood, walking over and wrapping my arms around him as he returned my embrace.
God, I was so worried about you.
Aww, and I was worried about you. We held each other, locked in silence and unable to say anything more. We had been in a heavy predicament and we escaped. Sure, we were probably branded now, but we escaped nonetheless. All we could do in that moment was hold each other and listen to our synchronized heartbeats. As the thought of tomorrow danced in my head, I began to fear it even more. Was I ready to go into battle? Was James? Were any of us, for that matter? We were about to walk into the final battle of the war. Would we survive? Would I live to see James afterwards and feel his embrace again? Tomorrow brought too many questions to think about, and I became frustrated and scared. Alright, sinning time, let's go. Oh, this is so sad. I needed to hold him and treat the night like it was our last night in the world. Tomorrow would be unpredictable, but tonight was guaranteed. I slowly guided my hands and cupped his head, staring deep into his eyes. I felt his hands gently slide across my waist, slowly grasping my hips as he stared patiently at me. A rush of courage ran through my body as I gently pulled him forward and captured his lips with my own. His eyes fluttered closed and I took a deep breath, taking in his scent, his warmth, and his love for me. I was blessed to have this man as my own and see him claw through the destiny to remain with me and be mine. As he slid his hands up my back and hugged me closer to him, I could tell he felt the same. My head tilted back as James began to trail kisses down my chin, onto my neck, causing me to arch my back a bit and press my chest against his. His teeth lightly grazed my skin, a wild shiver ran up my spine. His hands tightened around my waist and hugged me hard against his body, as he ravished my neck and shoulders and kisses and legs. My own hands began to wander his hair, combing through his black locks. For one night, I would forget about everything except the feeling of this man and I making love. It wasn't long before James and I wandered back in bed, with me straddling over his lap, with my back against his chest. Oh, wow, okay, that's good. Good for them. Us and only our bare minimums. James marked every inch of my body with his lips and tongue, desperate to make me quake in his arms from the pleasure. That's good. Good times. I couldn't help but let myself grind over hit the... I know this is supposed to be sweet and all, but Jesus Christ. I couldn't help but let myself grind over the hardening length in his boxer briefs, my own core lightning in desire for him, and slowly craved to just ravish and ride. Alright. Woo, James's amusement park. He's like, amusement park ride. However, James's hand drifted along my body, making me submissive to his touch and guidance. I was left with a moan and meal at his fingers, dragging themselves over me and eventually teasing beneath my clothes. Wait, so they're not naked yet? What's going on? The wild moans that wanted to erupt from me at his strokes filled my head with a lustful haze as James began to enthrall me and kiss me hard over my shoulder. I began to bite my lip, trying to control them.
Don't hold it in.
Whoa! Oh, okay, alright, good job, alright. Oh my god, what the hell? As if to emphasize his command, he began to remove the last articles of clothing, turning me around in his arms and pinning me against the bedpost. Whoa! Whoa! I had to wrap my legs around him to keep myself up as he pressed my hips against the wood of the bed. I looked deep into James's eyes, becoming lost in them, and as I finally let go, feeling him take at me at last, letting the pleasure ripple through my body in waves. My arms wrapped around themselves around his neck as he pressed me against the wall and began to... Whoa! Oh, okay, that's good. Good for them. Oh, okay. And began to drive into me in loving but hard fervor. fear. Oh my god, I can't even read, I'm dying. My energy was slowly draining, but I didn't care. My mind was becoming a mess, but I didn't care. All I gave a damn about was to the point where... All I gave a damn about at that point in time was James and I holding each other and riding through the immense pleasure between us. James knew everything about me. How to make me melt, how to make me need. Need? He loved us. He loved to use his everything about his parts to make me feel absolutely loved and amazing, while I did my best to make him feel the same. Even as the end began to crush through us, our eyes spoke volumes of our deep passion and love for each other. My heart pounded wildly for James as I dared to claim him as mine. He was completely and utterly mine, and I was completely and utterly his. Joyful tears gently dripped down from my eyes of the feeling bursting in my heart as I gripped James closer, desperate not to let go. He did the same, pressing his lips on mine and capturing every loving sound I made. For him. I lost count of how many times we let go. Oh, that's good, more than once. Alright, good job, James, good for you, alright. I began absorbed in his kisses and touch over my on my body, our love that was barely awakened by the time it ended, with his arms around me. His breathing became my guide and his body my solace. My hands gripped to him as my body naturally cuddled closer to him, taking in his warmth. A small chuckle echoed from him as James petted my hair.
I love you so much.
Aww, I love you too, James. I will never let you go. We would survive. We would be okay. I felt safe in James's arms, and I'm sure that he felt safe in mine. We would return to the human world and be okay. Tomorrow would decide everything. Okay, my goodness, that's good that we ended on smut. Anyway, I'm gonna have to end the episode here. So that was interesting. Okay, I knew I was gonna screw up with the angels because I don't know what the right answer is, but I find it very interesting that they weren't gonna kill her in the end, because I felt like that was something that they would do, regardless if she like agreed to let go of James or not, whatever. But it seemed like they were just like okay with it, but still. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed this episode of Seduce Me, remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to join the companions. Let me know what you thought about this episode, even though I kind of screwed up there. We'll continue in the next episode, and we'll see what happens with the Demon Lord. Hopefully I won't screw that up either. Anyway, I love you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!
Sorry, but what is that stuff in her hair just like below the bow? What is that stuff?
What is that?
I was